ways that I've been keeping busy is to go on really long bike rides. And I've been mostly bike riding in the park, Prospect Park, here in Brooklyn, where I live. But this weekend I went out to New Jersey and went on a gravel path for about 32 miles. And it was really amazing. There was no one around. There was this amazing paper wasp nest that I saw and lots of turtles. It was just such a beautiful time. And I'm not one of those people who plays music when I'm on the bike ride, just because I'm not good enough at biking to stay balanced while listening to something. And there's usually too many people in the park for me to feel comfortable listening to music. But I was able to listen to music out loud. I just wanted to play something that kind of harmonized with the nature that was surrounding me. And so I was drawn to listen to some quartets that I, haven't listened to in a while. And they kind of reminded me of the power of getting out of yourself, of your situation, of the narrative that's presented to you in your life. So the one that I kind of want to talk about today is the third movement of the Debussy String Quartet. And just the Debussy Quartet in general, for me, it's so bizarre that maybe it had to have a key in order to be published at the time, but it's so impressionist. It's how do you give a key to a watercolor painting, essentially? But it's in G minor, and it's so it's such a struggle for it to stay in G minor. Even the very beginning, the first movement is so it starts on G, the correct pitch, but there's this emphasis on F the whole time. So that beat, that pattern just sits more comfortably on the F. And then same with the second movement. Once again, that desire to be on F. It's so interesting, just that it always wants to be in a different key. And then the third movement, which is the movement that I'm obsessed with, have always been obsessed with, is so transportive, just such a different world, sound and harmony altogether. So it starts... And then this gorgeous, shimmery... stunning meditative melody kicks in. And I don't know, I kind of heard the beginning of that movement before I even turned on any music on my phone. And it was just this is how I've been feeling most days, I think. It's a really crazy time in the world. And this gesture... that slight swell, that upward motion is how I feel getting out of bed. There's this sluggishness, this desire, but this falling back immediately. Because it's a difficult time for everyone, and I'm very lucky, considered to so many in the world. But, any musician who's been trained basically in empathy with the chamber music, playing an orchestra, all of these things, it's going to be affecting. But then the fact that there's this stunning melody and that it's in such a different key, it's sharp 4 of G, and that's where it ends too, which is fascinating. But for me, it's kind of no matter how difficult it is to keep going, no matter how much you fall back in bed as soon as you get up, it's really important to immerse yourself in different worlds, in the arts, in nature. Go on bike rides if you can, go on walks. listen to music, anything that can restore you a bit so that you can keep going, so that you can have a fourth movement that starts in the key of the third but then ends up in G major. So for me, it was a really beautiful reminder to keep going even if it's difficult, and that a little bit of introspection, a little bit of meditation, and some time in another world is restorative and necessary, and not necessarily selfish.